Welcome to the Sines, Cosines, and Tangents, your introduction to the exciting world of trigonometry. Today, we're diving into the basics of trigonometry, specifically focusing on SOH CAH TOA. So what exactly is trigonometry? It's a branch of mathematics that studies relationships between side lengths and angles of triangles. Why do we need it? Trigonometry is essential for solving problems involving angles and distances, from engineering to navigation and even video games. Before we dive deeper, let's make sure we understand the key components of a right-angled triangle. First up, the hypotenuse. This is always the longest side of a right-angled triangle, and it's always opposite the right angle. Next, the opposite side. This is the side directly across from the angle of interest in your triangle. Be sure to correctly identify the opposite from the angle in question. Finally, the adjacent side. This side is next to the angle of interest, but it's not the hypotenuse. SOH stands for sine A equals opposite over hypotenuse. This ratio helps us find angles or side lengths when we know two of the three values. CAH means cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. It's another fundamental ratio in trigonometry. And finally, TOA stands for tangent equals opposite over adjacent. This ratio is particularly useful for finding angles of elevation or depression. How do you remember these important relationships? There are a couple of fun ways. Many people use mnemonics or catchy phrases like, "Some old hippie caught another hippie tripping on acid," or "Oscar had a heap of apples" to remember SOH CAH TOA. Let's solve this problem. First, we identify the relationship. We have the opposite side x and the adjacent side 15 meters, which means we use TOA, tangent. Tan of theta equals adjacent divided by opposite. Set up the equation. Tangent of 32 degrees equals 15x. Solve for x. X equals 15 times tan of 32 degrees. Calculate and round. X is about 9.373 meters. Final answer. X approximately equals 9.4 meters to the first decimal place. Given an angle, you can always identify the hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent sides by following our definitions. A ladder leans against a vertical wall. The base of the ladder is 4 feet away from the base of the wall. The ladder itself is 10 feet long. What is the measure of the angle theta the ladder makes with the ground? Round your answer to the nearest whole degree. To solve the problem, draw and label the triangle. The wall and the ground form a 90-degree right angle. The ladder is the longest side. Hypotenuse equals 10 feet. The distance from the wall to the base of the ladder is the side next to the angle theta. Adjacent equals 4 feet. We know the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. This corresponds to CAH cosine. Cos theta equals hypotenuse divided by adjacent. To find the angle theta, when you know the ratio, you must use the inverse cosine function, which is shift cosine on your calculator. Calculate and round. Theta approximately equals 66.4218 degrees. Final answer. Rounded to the nearest whole degree, the angle the ladder makes with the ground is 66 degrees. Remember, SOH, sine equals opposite hypotenuse, CAH, cosine equals adjacent hypotenuse, and TOA, tangent equals opposite adjacent. If you need maths help, please contact Thompson Education.